This is a show for grown-ups.
And they say bad words.
And they say bad words.
Say final warning.
Final warning.
Hello and welcome to the Pot of Blunders. I am your host, Nate Magnuski. With me, as always, is my co-host, Richard Sullivan.
Hey, guys.
Gary Medeiros.
Hey.
And Jenna.
Hi.
Gary, what are we doing today, dude?
We are continuing our D&D campaign where we are finding out more about the Marsh monger and the society around us.
And I expect this to be the penultimate episode. I think this is going to be a 3-part series with the goal of hopefully having this wrapped up by Christmas. So who remembers what the hell happened 2 months ago now? Anybody?
An investigator searching for his missing neighbors. Bee-folk emissary making first contact with a human hive. A dragonborn ranger searching for his place in society. Can these 3 strangers depend on each other in a world full of dangers? Can they discover the sinister truth behind the idyllic village overseen by the ancient, sentient tree? Can they survive long enough to make any of it matter? Time will tell. But how much time do they have? Not as much as they'd like, but maybe as much as they need.
We all leveled up. We're now level 2.
Some of you officially level 2, some of you half-assed level 2.
Why am I half-assed level 2?
Because you didn't actually go through the leveling process for you. We're going to open this exactly the way we open everything that's good. By rolling initiative. Go ahead, guys.
Oh, great. It landed on an 18 on the floor.
Nice.
Going happy
I
go
got a
bubbles.
nat 20.
I got a dirty 20.
We're ready as
2.
fuck.
Yeah, well, my monsters got a 5. So we got Jenna going first with a nat 20.
I'm a 21 with the +3 initiative, so 21.
All right, so then we got Gary, or Jean-Claude. Then we got Richard, or Merrick the Cleric. And last we have the other things. So you guys have been walking for a few days now. And the entire time you've been on this journey, you've been harried by these tree things. They're vaguely in the shape of men. They're about 5 or 6 feet tall. And they look like these twisted wood things. And at first it was like 1 or 2 would come every day. And then recently it's been almost a constant swarm of these things. And as we join you, it's getting towards dusk and you are surrounded by about 10 of these stick things. These look like vine monsters. So as the swarms of these things have been increasing, you, I assume, think that either you're on the right path and something's trying to stop you, or perhaps you figured out what happened to Kepin. Maybe these things just killed her. Merrick and Jean-Claude, before you left, you snuck into Kepin's quarters at night, and you saw that it had been entirely cleaned out. You clearly had no plans on returning to the Marshmonger's village. The only thing left was a leaf with a light footprint symbol overlaid with an arrow pointing towards the toes. Jean-Claude, you know this is a ranger thing. It's a symbol that it means to follow. What else did you find in this room that made you think she knew more than she let on earlier?
I would say there was extra food store. It looked like there's a little stockpile going on. This looks like someone's ready to leave and make a pretty big journey. Evidence of there being a stockpile. It obviously wouldn't still be there because she took it with her.
Right. A bunch of crumbs.
Maybe a secret compartment underneath the floorboards where she would hide the stuff, so we know that she was hiding it.
And that's why everything else has been cleaned out except for that one thing that, the symbol of the foot with the arrow.
Which was very obvious to find.
Right, for you guys, because you knew where to look. And Jenna, or Uzvili, was it difficult to sleep out away from the village the past few nights?
Yes, but I don't have the protection of a hive.
You really had no reason to come along on this adventure. You could have just left and gone back to your hive and said, you know what, diplomatic mission failed. Oh well, I tried. Why did you go on this hunt? Why did you follow?
This is Jean-Claude's friend. I recognize in him a need to find a missing member of his hive.
So you guys are exhausted, tired, been beaten up, and now we are here in the middle of this fight. Uzili, you're surrounded by 2 of these things right now. They're kind of flanking you, and they don't have any weapons to speak of. And they're not trying to grab you so much as they are just trying to injure you as much as possible. You know these tactics so far. That's what they've been doing all along.
Yeah.
And it seems like whenever you try to rest or sleep, that's when they attack. So sleeping has been very difficult the past few nights. Getting anything more than a snatch of rest. It's your turn. What do you do?
I am going to use entangle to entangle the things that look like sticks.
You're going to use the sticks to beat the sticks.
Exactly.
This targets one of them, right? Or does it target an area?
It has a 90-foot range.
Yep. So you can get both of them easily. So it's a strength save for them. So I don't think they're going to do too good because these are your little crappy stick dudes. So let's see how they do. Let's see if they can save and escape your vines. And I'll do one roll for both of them. They got a 13.
So 8 plus proficiency plus ability modifier.
So here's a 13. So they just beat it.
Oh.
They just beat it. So that was the first one. The second one will save 2. I'm going to see. That's a natural 1. So one of them is fully entangled. So what does it mean for these things to be entangled? They can't move or they take damage?
So the spell says, grasping weeds and vines sprout from the ground in a 20-foot square starting. It turns into difficult terrain. It is restrained by entangling plants until the spell ends. While this one is restrained, someone else who has an action to take could take care of the one that can't really hit you back at the moment.
Yeah, so whoever attacks the restrained one will definitely get advantage on the attack. So up next we have Jean-Claude.
Yes.
There are 10. Jenna's got 1 restrained, but the other 9 are free and approaching. They seem like they should be unintelligent, but they're operating very coordinatedly.
Coordinated?
I like coordinatedly. Like there's a guy named Lee, really good at stuff with his body.
What time of day is it? Like, would I have a torch or anything?
It's dusk. I would say you have a torch if you want, because you don't have night vision, so it would make sense for you to have a torch.
If there's like a cluster of them, I'm gonna just try and do like a sweeping attack, I guess. I assume they're kind of walled in together, approaching us. So I'm gonna go for the ensnared one and maybe hit a couple on the side of them.
All right, so we'll roll for the ensnared one first, and if you hit that one, then you can make another attack against another one.
Okay. Do you want to do advantage?
Yeah.
So I got an 18 and a 13.
So that'll definitely hit.
And
they
then
both would hit.
what do you want me to do for damage on this? You want me to just use my sword, the 1d6?
Yeah, do a d6, and then because it's fire, they are vulnerable to fire. Just whatever you roll will double it.
2. 4 damage. Let's go.
Amazingly, it dies.
Oh, yes! Victory.
So it catches fire. The steam from the water and its wood hisses out of it, and it sounds like a scream, like when you boil a lobster. And it collapses instantly into this pure white ash. The other ones see the fire, and they hate it. They hate the fire. And it seems like some of them are trying to decide if they want to go away. That's their natural compulsion is to run away, but something is driving them forward still. So go ahead, Cory. You can make another attack if you want.
Torch seems to be working, so I'm going to go ahead and try and swing away again with it.
Mm-hmm. This one does not have advantage.
It's a 1.
Well, hey, you don't have multi-attack, so... I think you expect it, because you've seen these things before, I imagine. But normally...
They're not this is aggressive.
Yeah, so I have fire, they're going to run away. They look scared, but...
They keep moving towards the fire. It's just oh, this isn't good.
Maybe it's unnerving to you. But that brings us to our old friend Marsh the cleric, who sees that they are injured by fire, but not afraid of fire like they ought to be.
So if fire's kind of doing it for these guys, my Sacred Flame, which is one of my new cantrips that I got from being a level 2. Humble brag. A flame-like radiance descends on a creature that I can see within range. I can see all of them, can't I?
Yeah.
And it's a radiant flame.
It's radiant damage, not fire, but okay.
Oh, it's not like a radiant fire.
No.
I mean, that would be pretty cool.
With the wording. No, it says 1d8 radiant damage in the spell description. So it does radiant damage. So take that. So try to do cool things. You can't.
Okay, then you want to do cool? I'll do cool. Can I go full Castlevania and light my whip on fire?
That'd be dope.
Would be dope.
Rule of cool, Nate.
People who have listened to this just heard a level 2 guy be like, I got a new cantrip. They know we're not following the rules. It's fine. Just do it. Let your whip on fire.
Yeah.
All he has to do is I just go up to him with my torch.
Yeah, and I just
Yeah,
kind
yeah.
of dip my tip in it, and it's now hot, and
Yeah. Just the tip.
my tip's hot and horny for violence, and I just spin it around and say, okay, I'm just going to spin my whip, and if you happen to get near it, I'm going to light you on fire. It's on you.
So are you trying to injure one or are you just trying to scare them away?
We've shown that they're not really afraid of the fire.
But you can still do an intimidation check.
I'm
You
going
want
to
to.
have to. So 20 minus 1, so 19.
But you got a natural 20 on it. Natural 20s are only supposed to work for attacks. They're not supposed to work for regular action. But that's the stupid rule, and I don't like it. So I think it's very successful. I think some of the ones that were questioning whether or not they should attack still and didn't quite, were under the same sway as the others, they fuck off. They just disappear back into the darkness. There's still a few others that are around that are, I don't know, maybe there's a stronger hold over them, compelling them to attack you. So I think half the force, so say 4 of the remaining ones, fuck off into the woods. So good job.
It's like Richard went into Overwatch. He's just like waiting. Like, come close, you're gonna get hit.
That's it. I have it's like a lasso now. I'm doing like tricks with it.
He's doing the
All
move
right.
where he's like stepping in and out of it.
Yeah.
So the one that was vividly tried to untangle is going to try to attack her by shooting these. Basically, their fingers come off of their hands and they fire these long darts at you. So, does a 19 hit?
Yes.
So
Is it an AC 16?
you take 3 damage, and these darts, they're not huge. It's not like they're throwing full daggers at you, but they're obviously trying to maim you, or they're trying to injure you to stop you. They're not trying to kill, it seems. And so they dig into your lowest legs.
Are we just near their hive and they're trying to keep us away?
Mm-hmm.
Because this,
I know that. Yeah.
this seems like we're being harried more than anything else.
So I'm going to have 2 more come over to attack Richard. I'm sorry, not Richard's back. That'd be ridiculous. Attack Merrick's back. As soon as they see the whip go forward, they're going to try to run in and stab you with their claws. The first one, it's a nat 20. That's nice. I like this dice. I'm going to keep this one. Second one rolls a 10. That's not going to do anything. But you take 4 damage as one of them trips and falls, and the other one gets you right in the back of the knee with his claws. Like try to rake through your hamstring almost.
Ugh.
And so I have one more that's still around. It's going to attack Jean-Claude. This one's going to stumble forward over the ashes of its fallen friend and try to lunge at you. And this one's going to try to wrap itself around your legs to entangle you. And a 7 probably doesn't do anything to you, does it?
Negatory.
No.
I just step
Alright.
back as it falls at my feet.
Exactly, and now it's prone, so that's not great for my poor little guy. Now we're back to the top of the initiative order. We're back with Uzili,
So it's prone.
the one next to Cory, and kind of you as well.
Have they shown any ability to speak?
Not that you've seen.
Okay.
In all of your interactions with these things so far. I imagine as a diplomat, you would have tried to talk to them.
Right. Well, because I was thinking, if this is a hive behavior, maybe I can communicate that I understand that this is a hive behavior and I don't want to hurt them. Assuming that they aren't intelligent,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to use Acid Splash, which is made out of my bee's venom. And I hurl a bubble of acid. Target must succeed on a dex saving throw or take 1d6 acid damage.
These things are reasonably dexterous, but he's prone, so I'm going to give him disadvantage. This one's, that's an 18, so. Second one is also an 18.
Weird.
This thing, let's see, how does it dodge your acid? It's prone.
It just rolls.
I guess that makes sense. That seems kind of lame, but yeah, sure, it rolls.
I mean, it's like a gigantic stick.
You're a gigantic stick in
Rolls.
the mud. All right, Merrick, it's your turn. No, it's not.
No, it's Cory.
Jean-Claude's
my turn.
Yeah.
Fuck off, Merrick. Wait your goddamn turn.
Yes, wait, Merrick. The
Stand
one
for
trick
that.
pony. Actually, he has many tricks with that
Yeah.
also. It's pretty entertaining.
that
I
was
was
pretty
just
cool.
sitting there clapping as he
I'm
was
like-
just showing off his tricks.
Yeah, I'm like a part-time rodeo clown.
I'm gonna just take the torch and just stab it into the one that's at my feet, prone on the ground.
The one that was rolling away from Jenna's acid because of it. She missed
Yeah,
it.
all right. I'll swing at it. I'll just swing at it.
Go for it. You can stab it into it. That's fine.
Okay.
It's all beautiful.
Boom, net 20, baby.
Man, you're rolling like crazy today. Okay. This thing's dead. This is fucking dead. Like,
no matter
you can
what.
roll damage if you want to, but it's...
Yeah. But I double damage because it's a torch.
Yeah. So the thing again shrieks and disappears into the... Look, joins his little buddy's pile of ashes, and now they're together forever.
Oh.
All right, nice job.
Yeah.
Merrick, now, finally, all right?
God. Now, how many are left?
3.
And I've still got my flaming whip.
You do.
It's incinerated by now.
No, it's magic. Could be.
Why not?
Let me just check the rules. There's no rule saying it's not.
I mean, we have a talking bee in our party, so...
Yeah. Now, are they closely grouped together, or are they spread apart?
For the sake of moving this along, they're very closely grouped together, like bowling pins, like 3.
Then I will lasso the 3 of them together with flame and see if I can burn the last 3 up.
I love it. Go for it.
All right. So my whip is a +4.
Yep, so D20 plus 4.
21.
All right. You get them all, Richard. You do. You nailed this one. Roll your whip damage, please.
3.
But it's fire, so they all die.
Yeah!
Yay!
Yeah.
You solved my wood guy's problem. So just then, a bunch more step out from the woods. And you're like, shit, I'm sure you guys are feeling exhausted. Your fire tricks are cool, but there's no way you can sustain this for this long. And the sky to the north lights up. Like a massive gout of iridescent fire shoots into the sky, and the twig things just stop what they're doing. And they look up at the direction of this light, and they walk towards it. They completely ignore you, and they're just heading in that direction as a group. And you see there's hundreds of these stick things in the woods around you, and they're all just walking, completely ignoring you in the direction of this light. What do you do?
I appreciate the hive mind behavior.
Finally, some reasonable creatures.
Yes. Can we tell anything about the light? Or is this like, any story that Gary might have heard growing up?
I don't think Gary knows this. You've ranged all over this area. The light came from this valley that is just like a kind of a dead zone. It's a big valley that is surrounded by these fairly sheer cliffs. And in the middle, nothing grows. And the light came from that area. But as far as you know, there's nothing in there. This place is just a valley of bones, essentially. Birds don't even fly over it. Nothing goes here and lives. And you know that the bone remains just kind of form a big circle in the middle of the valley. It's a cursed place.
Kind of like an elephant graveyard.
Yeah, but it's
cursed.
an everything graveyard. Like, everything here is dead in a big circle. In the middle of the circle, it's just kind of like flat, even ground with no markings on it and no bones.
So nothing grows there? No
Correct.
Vegetation?
Correct.
It would be very impossible for any vegetative person or persons to go there?
I mean, that stands to reason.
So I think that's where our friend is. If she was running away from the Marsh monger,
That'd be where there's no life.
why would you go
he'd
to the
there
place?
he couldn't follow.
Correct. Yeah, and his water nervous system can't reach that far. So if she wants to hide from him, she has to go to the Deadlands.
So what do you guys do?
I vote we head in that direction.
I say we head that way.
Okay, so you guys are shoulder to shoulder with this throng of wood horrors. Even though they were fighting you before, tooth and nail, and hounding you for days, they don't give a solitary shit about you anymore. You're just not even a consideration to them at this point. And you walk a ways until you get to the edge of one of those cliffs I mentioned earlier. And you look out into the valley, and as described, it's just this big dead valley full of bones. In the moonlight, you can see now that the ground is flecked with white. And in the middle of this is a large circle. The middle of the circle now is odd. You know, like when you're driving on a highway in the summer and you see that weird heat haze? That's what the circle is like here now. It's not just flat ground, it's like a really odd haze. And as you're sitting here watching the haze, you see these wood things. They're trying to scale down the cliff. Some of them are falling to their death. Some of them are making it to the bottom. And they're walking towards the circle. And as they get closer, they're just turning to ash. They're hitting this wall and turning to ash. But they're not stopping. They're circling around the sides, trying to find a point of weakness to get to this thing. And just ash, ash, ash. Non-stop.
Okay, now this doesn't make sense because a hive perpetuates itself. This is weird, and I hate it.
The clouds above the place are glowing with the same iridescent light that you saw shoot up. It's not as bright as that light you saw, but they're just shining like as if they're reflecting something. But there's no source that's providing this light, as far as you can see.
Maybe this is like the other ranger, because they were part like, what was it? Not quite a djinn, but
No, Genasi?
yeah, Genasi. When they have magical abilities, not necessarily
Usually-
to the strength, but
Right. Usually pretty minor stuff. This would be extreme.
they evolve to a full djinn.
Give me perception checks. I like that, yeah. They found an air stone and they evolved. Whoever would like to can make me a perception check.
I'll do one.
Oh
no.
21 for Zilly.
Oh shit, that landed under my desk.
You can't be contained.
An 11 for me.
Well, because everyone else is doing one.
Oh,
Alright.
okay.
And my perception is 5 plus 17.
Oh, 22. So, Merrick, you have an inquisitive mind. You have a curious mind. You're a natural investigator.
Naturally.
And so you're trying to figure out the source of the reflection on the clouds. That's what you're focused on mostly. And the more you stare, you realize that the light is bending oddly around something. As if like there's something that's cloaked. There's something there. And you see every now and then a black square or a triangle missing out of reality. Like there's just like a shape that is just not there. Like you should be able to see the other side of the valley. And instead you're seeing this black spot. And as you're noticing more of these, this thing really starts to take shape in your mind. And it looks like there's some kind of edifice, like a building in this circle of death, causing this light. But whatever it is mostly cloaked, but you're able to see through it pretty well.
And how high up is this?
So there's a main building that's about 30 feet high. And then there's a tower that juts up from that, another 120 feet or so.
But how high from us? Like, is it floating in the clouds, or is it on ground level to us?
So you're up on a cliff. It's down below in the valley. You're about eye level with the tower, but it's about half a mile away.
So we have to get down the cliff.
Yeah. So how are you scaling this cliff, my friends?
Could Uzvili just kind of fly us down
Yeah,
one by one?
I guess I could.
Would wings be strong enough?
What are you
Oh.
trying to say?
I don't think you can carry people.
I have an explorer effect, means I have a rope. President Bronson's got a rope, and he always ends up using it.
I'm pretty proficient in acrobatics. I could just scale my way down.
Weirdly enough, it's athletics to climb.
Oh,
Unless you're doing cartwheels down the cliff.
my athletics is decent. I mean, I could just do flips.
Yeah, I
Leap
mean,
the
you
door
could
my
always
way
say
down.
you jump from rock to rock like a goat. That would be acrobatics. That's fine too. However you want to do it. I mean, it was really you fly down.
I'm just flying.
Yeah. Like, see you later, nerds. Bye. And Jean-Claude, you're going to try to hop down?
I'm trying to figure out a way I can bring Merrick with me. Merrick, just hold on to my back. And we'll scale down it together.
Oh, I'm
Is
not
there
too.
any
I'm not
ship
too big
type
for
you can
you.
I'm a fucking dragon.
Apparently, I was too heavy, for Jenna, but big strong guy over here. No, you go down. I can do it myself. I don't trust you not to
Okay.
drop me.
Yeah, I'm gonna just try and find footing. Like, is it like a sheer cliff face, or is it kind of like a rocky slope down?
There's like enough animal paths down zigzagging. You could probably figure
Yeah,
it out. It's not
I'll
meant
just-
to be climbed, but
Yeah, I'll just leap down there with my ranger abilities.
all right. Give me I'm going to give you acrobatics or athletics with advantage because you are a ranger. You're very sure-footed. This is your domain right here. So
Okay, so a 14 plus 5 for acrobatics, so 19.
hell yeah, no problem. Describe what it looks like.
As you said, it's kind of like a almost mountain goaty, just jumping from stone to stone, but not quite as scary. Have you ever watched the mountain goat, scale cliff face? It looks like they're about to die every jump. I have my footing every time, so it's just kind of when you see the Hulk doing in a Marvel movie, how he has these scaling jumps up, but just going downwards instead.
So up, but downwards. I got you.
Yeah.
I think you're doing better than I'm doing tonight, so
I'm a way with words.
on you. And lastly, Merrick, how the hell are you doing this, bud?
So I'm going to take one of the animal paths.
Yeah,
What's the angle?
pretty steep.
65 degrees.
All right.
Yeah.
So I'm going to use one of my cantrips to create water.
Okay.
I'm going to create up to 10 gallons of clean water The waterfalls is rain within a 30-foot cubed range. I'm going to have it all fall behind me, and I'm going to water slide down the cliff.
We're at Water Whiz here.
All right, so, God, would that give you advantage on this or make it worse for you?
Well, I figure the water's going to
hitting his
cushion.
ass.
Yeah, but I think the water's going to cushion some of that and cut down on the friction.
You know, I think
at least have a broken tailbone.
It might be a wash.
I'm leaving.
Oh, Cory left the chat. Oh, no. So, what are you going to roll for us there? You're going to roll athletics or acrobatics?
Well, athletics is 0, so it's going to have to be acrobatics, but could it also be...
No.
It could be religion, because I'll pray to God the whole way down. Alright, so acrobatics it'll be.
This works,
11
man.
plus 2, so 13.
That's not too bad. I think, amazingly, down below, they're looking up at you like, this ain't going to fucking work. I think you make it almost to the bottom before you completely eat shit. So, I'm going to say you take like 1 damage, but you take a lot more damage to your pride. But I'm amazed that worked as well as it did, so kudos to you.
I'm gonna go offer Merrick a hand to pull him back up and be like, my friend, you impress me more and more every day.
So you're at the bottom of this thing. The twig people are still like, they're smartening you up now. They're kind of slowing their approach, trying to ferret out where they can approach this thing at all, if there's a way in. And from what you can see, every time they've gone forward, they've just died in droves. But there's more coming at every single moment. So you see another one of those gigantic gouts of iridescent fire burst from the top of this tower, and suddenly you see the building. It's like this twisted wreck of glass and metal that looks like it maybe once was beautiful, but it's been hundreds of years in the weather. Most of the glass is broken and shattered. There's no real doors that you can see. Everything looks like it was once smooth metal that's been worn and rusted and pitted through centuries. And then you see something, Jean-Claude. Out of one of the holes of blackness that looks like it shouldn't be there, you see a light blue face pop out. And you recognize this as your friend Kevin, the ranger. She looks different, though. She looks tired.
Does she look alive?
She looks alive.
That's good.
But she always was very proud of her hair. She always had these long, like, box braids. And now she's completely bald. It looks like there's, like, markings on her head, like someone has written something, or marked diagrams on her skin. She yells down to you, I can let you in. I can lower the shield. But as soon as I lower the shield, it's going to get real shitty real fast. So you need to have a plan.
What kind of plan? What should we expect?
I mean, you need to get to me as fast as you can, but so will everything else that's trying to get to me as fast as they can. So how are you going to get to this building before everything else? Or are you going to fight your way through and try to get into one of the doors?
I can use Thunderwave to make everything explode away from it.
I don't know if it'd be like a perception check to see if there's any kind of pattern in the like the drone waves, or is it just kind of like a stream of these twig guys? Because I assume like with some falling on the ground and breaking, some kind of lull of them coming towards the wall. We could time it.
Go ahead and roll perception for me. It's a good idea.
That is a 23.
Jesus.
Perceptive
Yeah.
as fuck.
It seems like they're, like I said before, they're organized, they're coordinated. And you do notice there's a pattern. Like they keep testing it almost like in a clockwise pattern where some of them will push forward here, then retreat. Some of them will push forward here, then retreat. You think if you wait long enough, you'll time exactly when they make a break on one of the edges, you can rush in while they're far away.
But can I just like fly to near where the door is, move them all over 15 feet forward, away from the door? Then they can just like run in.
Certainly try.
I mean, maybe combined with the waves.
Yeah, like
thing.
if we combine the two, like
Yeah.
as like the next wave, like we go in as the next wave's coming in, you boom them out.
Merrick, what are you going to do in this plan?
What kind of parlor trick can he do while we wait?
I mean, you could always provide a distraction, Merrick, if you wanted to. Maybe draw them off and then let your friends get in while you take out, you die on the outside.
I die on the outside, huh?
I'm just saying it's an option. I'm not saying you have to do it.
He's already dead on the inside, so might as well equal it out.
I don't love anything. Nobody gets close to me. No, I'll just run really fast. I mean, we don't get fancy with it.
His plan is like, you look at these legs, right? You see how nice and strong they are?
Yeah.
I'm gonna use them to haul ass in there.
I'm gonna explode them, and Merrick's just gonna book it.
Fast as fuck, boy. So, what's phase one of this plan? Phase one is Jenna flies over, or Zooey flies over, or phase one is like Cory gives a signal now, and you fly over. What's happening?
Well, I'm thinking like I'll fly over, and I'm gonna wait for the signal that it's a wave, like the wave is changing or whatever.
Okay, so you fly over.
Yeah, so I'm like hovering over where we're
gonna run in.
So the shield comes down. You see that, but you didn't really notice the door before. There is a recessed area.
Yeah.
And it shows up now. You can see it very clearly. It's sliding open. There's a horrible grinding noise. The twig things are aware.
Okay.
You land.
So I'm gonna land and do my thunder wave.
Go for it.
So thunder wave. A wave of thunderous force sweeps out from you. Each creature in a 15-foot cube originating from you must make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay.
On a failed save, a creature takes 2d8 thunder damage and is pushed 10 feet away from you.
Okay, so there's 6 twig blights and your 2 friends, and all of you should make Constitution saving throws now.
Well, I was assuming that the friends would be like back out of the range of the thing because we talked about it. This was a plan.
Right,
that's what you get for assuming.
I'm gonna give these 2 advantage on it. That seems fair to me.
We have to jump on it.
I think Merrick and Jean-Claude have advantage on this, but I think it's going to be tough because of the timing of it.
Okay.
What'd you say this is Constitution?
Yep.
So 1, 11.
All right. So 11 plus your Constitution modifier. So you have a 13, which meets Jenna's thing. So you're fine. How about you, Jean-Claude?
19.
Oh, you're fine too.
Dude, this green dice, dude, is magic right now.
My twig monsters didn't fare so hot. So your plan works flawlessly. The door opens. You're able to pile inside. Jenna goes Krakatoa on the thing and knocks all the shit over. And the door slides shut. And outside you hear 600-700 of these twig things try to stream against the building. And then you hear the boom of the shield coming back online. And poof! Good job.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Coming to the World Wide Web, it's the internet's premier podcast that gives you the 411 on the 1990s favorite television teens with Tood.
The Ninja Turtles?
As if...
The Power Rangers?
Talk to the hand!
My bad. You must mean the...
No duh, they're all that in a bag of chips.
That's PHAT fat. How do I scope that?
Just head on over to our Patreon, and starting at $1, you'll get 2 gnarly episodes of Jumping the Street Sharks a month, plus a bunch of other tubular shiznit.
Actually, that sounds lame. I think I'll keep my cheddar to myself. Not!
So if you want to support us, head to the Patreon link in the show notes. We appreciate you, and can't wait to share more jawsome content with you soon.
So, you're inside the building now. Everything seems like it's made of one solid piece of metal. So the floors of this weird long hallway you're in, which is very circular. And the only really distinguishing mark here, or the thing of note, are these pipes on the ceiling. They're clear, and they're carrying this strange blue liquid that glows with its own internal light. It's like a milky blue, and it seems to be flowing down the hall.
Are there any other ways to go, or is it just to follow that
You can go forward, you can go backwards, or you can go back out the door.
Let's go back outside.
It's swamp.
The shield's not down. Oh no, Ash.
All right, we're going back inside.
They're straight ahead of us or off to the one side. Is it flowing from in front of us off to the side?
Picture a circle, right?
Uh-huh.
And the liquid is going in front of you, forward towards in the circle. It's flowing in that direction. It's going around a circle.
Oh.
It came from somewhere, probably, and it's going somewhere, probably. But where you are, you're just in one of the bends of the circle. You have no idea.
I want to go the direction it's flowing.
Okay. Does everybody else want to do that?
It's the only way we can go.
Go back.
When you say go back, do you mean like we can go the way it's flowing from or where it's flowing to?
Yeah, you can go from or to. It really is your choice right now.
I think we want to go to where it's going to.
What if we split the party and I'll go to where it's from?
One of you will go forward, one backwards, and one will go outside.
Yeah, it's flowing into something important, I would think.
Can we percept things to see if there's like
Traps?
and a particular reason to go one way or another?
You can try to percept, sure.
I'm gonna percept some stuff.
Perceiving?
Nope, percepting.
Percepturing.
17 plus 5.
It's 22 percept. Nice.
I percepted so much.
You percept everything. As you're noticing these pipes, it looks like they're a bunch of small pipes that are leading into one big pipe eventually. Like they're like being pared down into one.
Condensing.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like the internet.
Exactly. A series of tubes into one big tube.
Sometimes the tube gets clogged.
It's not a truck you just put things on. All right. You also hear footsteps coming towards you pretty quickly down the hall.
I draw my bow, point in that direction.
Yes. I am also prepared with my spiggatar.
And out of the darkness, into the milky light surrounding you, comes Kepin.
Yay, Captain!
I fire my arrow.
All right, roll.
No, I don't actually
You
fire.
said it. You said it. It's real now. You killed Kepin. So she's not wearing her normal ranger gear at all. She's wearing this, like, for lack of a better word, it's a hospital gown made of kind of crude linen. Now that you see her, it looks like the marks on her head look like measurements, like she's being fitted for something.
Kevin, where have you been? What are you doing here? Are you okay?
She's like, we don't have a lot of time. I can't keep the shields up forever. But I'm fine. This is good. I'm so glad you were able to find the markings and you found this place and you found me. You have to come with me.
For why?
I wanted,
Insight?
yeah, that's the one. Couldn't come up with a word.
See if we can trust her.
Yeah, like, is this actually, should we actually follow her, or is she, like, corrupted in some way?
I'll
When
give
I
you a
see
hint.
runes
No.
Yeah, when you see runes inscribed on someone, that's never good.
It's not runes, it's just like being measured or something.
17 plus 5 again. I really like 17 plus 5.
Yeah. She seems afraid. She seems terrified, but she seems like she's telling you the truth. Like, you need to hurry. And there is someone that can explain.
All right, we gotta go.
Hold on. Is there
Oh, God.
anyone else? I just want to know, is there anybody else here, particularly people from my village?
She's like, there's a lot of people here, but I don't know if anyone's from your village. But the one person that I want you to speak to is down the hall. The other ones really, they can't talk right now. I'll show you what I mean.
Do you still have the arm with the tattoo and just be like, this tattoo, have you seen it?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, because it's still in
I
my
assume
satchel.
he's-
Yeah, I'm not going to get rid of a choice tattoo like that. So I show her the arm. I says, does anybody have a tattoo that matches this?
I haven't checked them all. There's a chance, I guess. I'll show you what I mean. I'm not explaining this well. I'm sorry. We have to go.
Useless.
Merrick, we should just go. There is no time.
I'll bring you to the others so you can see what I mean. And so she turns on her heels and she walks down the hall into the darkness.
I'm gonna follow her. You can check all their arms when we get there.
Nate, you're going to hate me.
Oh god, he's gonna split the party.
Probably.
I got to go the other direction. I don't trust her. I got to investigate. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I know you said the first game that you wanted just everybody to stick together. You didn't say
So it's not
shit
the
about
first game
this
anymore?
the first night, but this is the second night, and you didn't say that.
It's true.
So I'm going the other direction.
That's okay. I have contingencies for this sort of thing.
I still think he's a fool, and I'm following the other person just like last time.
What's Jean-Claude doing?
I'm going to go with my girl. I know her, so
Idiot.
if she seems trustworthy from that insight check, then yeah, let's do it.
So she leads you down this long hallway. She's not really talking. She's just kind of breathing heavy. And the light is getting brighter. She leads you into this large room. There's a big pool of this blue stuff in the middle. In the middle of that is the base of the tower that you saw from outside. And this tower is going up 100 feet into the air easily. And the blue, everything this blue stuff that's pooling on the base of it is being siphoned up into the tower. It's going to the very top of the tower. And all around you can see the two that have come from all these different rooms off this main area are gathering and dumping this blue stuff here.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to pause there. And I'm going to go with my good friend Merrick for a bit. So Merrick, in the excitement of everyone following this woman, you kind of slink off by yourself. It's dim light here. You can't really see a whole lot. But you head back down this long hallway. And you come to a door with a big glass panel in it. You look in and you see what looks like a dozen beds with people lying on it.
Are they asleep?
No, you're outside. You can go into the room if you like.
Well, can I do a perception to see if they're sleeping?
Sure. Or you can do a medicine check if you want to see if they're sick or whatever you want to do.
Well, because if they're sleeping, I would go in. So 7.
You can tell they're breathing. Otherwise, they're very still. And you can see that there's these tubes coming from the beds that are full of this blue liquid.
So they're being siphoned.
Yeah.
Great.
So I'm going to go into the room, and because they're all laying very still, I'm going to lift up the sheets on each of them to see if I can find a matching tattoo.
So as you go through, you see all these faces that you don't recognize. You see...
Oh yeah, I could just look at their faces too.
Yeah, that'd be helpful. You figure that out after the third dick you see. But they're these people you've never seen before. They're these things you've never seen before. These species of God knows what. And they're all wearing these blue linen uniforms on these beds. They seem like they're well taken care of. Some of them are young. Some of them are old. They're just all lying here peacefully, providing this blue stuff.
I'm gonna save them. I'm cutting all the lines.
All right. You don't have to roll anything for it.
Okay, so I use my tiny knife to sever the lines.
Yeah. They're like glass tubes, so like you figure that out pretty quickly. You just shatter them, and the blue goop leaks all over the floor, and the blue light that's ambient here slowly fades out, and it's dark, pitch black. And then you hear shuffling. You hear like some groaning and confused voices. You hear someone say, "No, no, what? No, put me back, put me back!" Now people are crying. It's like 5 or 6 people in the room, and everyone's confused, crying or angry, and trying to figure out what the hell happened.
And it's pitch black in there?
Yeah, because all the blue stuff leaked out.
You just broke all of them out of the Matrix. Way to go.
I think they'll thank me for it later. They just don't know it yet. But I assume if all this stuff is leaked onto the floor, then the floor should be lit up.
You'd think that, but it faded out.
So I gotta find my way to the door and get the fuck out of there.
And that's where we're going to pause for now.
So you saved them, and then are like,
Then
bye.
he bails.
Yeah, because there could be other rooms of people that need saving.
I just imagine him slowly like backing out, like tiptoeing out, and then just like a sliding door, just slide in front of him and just keep going.
Yeah, but the problem is I can't get out of the room now. Because I can't see anything.
Meanwhile, back with our friends who follow the path, kept been saying, "This is where we gather all of this stuff. This is where." I'm sorry. You need to talk to her. I think she'll be able to explain it better than I can. She's right this way. You're still gonna come?
Yeah.
I'll follow her.
Okay. You have a chance to be a part of something big here, but we need to hurry. So she takes off, and she leads you down this hall and up a set of stairs, through the set of doors that leads to like a library, essentially. This is like the nicest room you've seen so far. There's nice lighting here. There's candles, and so many books. Jean-Claude, does your village have books really? Does Marshmonger deal with books mostly, or no?
Not really. It's mostly just like stories told people to people.
And
He doesn't trust books.
That's interesting.
Because they're made of wood.
I think it's more of those like we as characters don't know, but like it's like a Marshmonger. Like the more knowledgeable people are of the past, the more dangerous it is for him.
Well, Philly, you've traveled around, but your people don't deal with books at all. You have like memory honey that you pass down complete knowledge to each other with. So you see this now, this repository of. Do you know what books are though? Like, have you seen them in your travels? Or
I
just like,
assume so.
what the hell is this?
I've seen humans,
Hmm.
so
They're
they're probably rare, but I imagine they're not totally unfamiliar.
There are thousands of books here.
There's a lot of memory honey here.
Yeah.
Like, I just assumed these are just a bunch of journals. Because, like, we have people writing stuff down, but never, like, books written by people outside.
In the middle of the room is a large desk. It's like one of those bougie standing desks. And with her back turned to you, this tall, thin figure. It's about 7 feet tall. And she's wearing these white robes, like pure white robes. And green, like a green stole, like a religious stole.
I don't like the looks of this.
And she's
it's almost like you should have come with me.
I mean, we could still kill this woman.
I'll be back.
She stops what she's doing and she turns to you. She's an elf woman. And she's wearing this white mask with a blue circle on the forehead. And you notice, like, her vestments, her stole, her green stole, has all these odd symbols on it. There's a winged eye. There's a red hand clutching a sword. There's 3 arrows of blue, green, and yellow. Another thing is a sheaf of wheat with a sickle in front of it. Give me a religion test, whoever wants to do that. It'd be awesome if you had a cleric here with you. I guess that was too much to ask for.
That would have been helpful. Let's see, religion. Ooh, I have nothing on that.
I have a +1. I mean, doesn't hurt.
Well,
17 +1.
So, Cory, you rolled a natural 1, so you have no idea what these symbols are. They just look like maybe, I don't know, symbols.
Drawings.
Like,
I was like, all right, that's wheat with a sickle.
Yeah, why is she wearing them? Who knows? I think in your travels, Awww, you've seen these things in like ruins that have been occupied by like newly formed villages.
Okay.
Seems like in all the ruins, the biggest buildings have these symbols in them sometimes.
So this is like a
They're
like a
important.
temple thing, yeah.
Yeah, you could assume that there's some kind of religious thing here. So she turns to you, and her eyes are glowing blue, the same color as the pipes, and the same color as the blue circle on her masked forehead. Although she's in the same room as you, her voice sounds very far away, like it's speaking through her. And she says, "Don't be afraid."
Now I'm afraid.
Yeah, no, I'm afraid too. Like,
she clearly told you not to, so I don't understand.
Can I insight at her?
Nope, because Merrick hasn't talked in a minute and time.
Okay.
So we're gonna go to Merrick now. So Merrick, you're in a room full of confused coma patients. You've just freed from whatever they were doing.
Oh no, it was life-saving treatment. Ah.
It was chemo. What have you done?
How easy is it for me to get out of this room?
I mean, I feel like you were pretty far into it, but I think you have a good sense of direction. I think if you just tried to walk that way, you could. I think you know roundabout where the door is, but the danger is now, like, there are people wandering around, milling about. So if you're trying to go undetected, that's a different matter.
I assume they can't see in the dark either.
That's something. As far as you can assume, none of them can see in the dark.
as he smiles.
Alright, fuck it.
That's what we like to hear.
That's like my character's mantra. Fuck it. So I'm going to use Guiding Bolt.
Okay.
A flash of light streaks toward a creature of my choice within range. So really any of them. Make a ranged spell attack against the target. On a hit, the target takes 4d6 radiant damage, and the next attack roll may... Blah, 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 blah. The big thing I want out of this is thanks to the mystical dim light glittering on the target, I'll be able to see my way out. Now, I might kill this man.
The sacrificial
really
light.
Saving.
But that's one toward the hundreds of people I might be able to save in this building.
Don't you have torches in your backpack?
No.
Okay, so you're making a spell attack against something you can't see, so it's at disadvantage.
Fair.
So go ahead and roll 2d20, taking the worst result.
Alright.
Either way, you're going to light up the room.
Yeah, so even if it hits a...
Yeah.
Which, honestly, that's what... I would rather do that, because I really don't want to kill anybody, but, you know, making an omelet, right?
You're going to just blast it at the ceiling then, or are you going to blast it somewhere?
See what happens.
Okay, roll for it. We'll see what
Alright, a
happens.
12
Uh-huh. That's not so bad.
and a 2.
The 2's pretty bad. 2 is not great. So I think you know roundabouts where the door is, right? And so you're like, I'm going to just blast it that way. One of the things in here, one of the people in here did have dark vision and saw the door and was heading towards it. And it was a police officer, his last day in the force.
It's too old for this shit.
So roll your damage.
Okay. My damage is 46.
Jesus Christ. Why didn't you use Sacred Flame? This is a cantrip.
Yeah, but you told me Secret Flame doesn't emit light.
No, I didn't. I said it did radiant damage.
I don't want radiant. I don't want to damage anything. I want light.
It lights up. It's just not fire.
Too late
It's
now.
done.
So a 2.
All right, that's not bad.
1, so 3.
All right, so far so good.
6.
Nope, okay.
So 9 altogether.
A bolt comes down from the sky, the ceiling pretty much, and just lances right through this dude. In the blink of an eye, when all the light is there, you see a bunch of horrified faces turn to you and just scream. They drop to the floor. This guy that you blasted is fucking very dead. But you know what the door is now.
I walk to the door while saying, "Now none of you better follow me.
I've saved you, damn it.
You're welcome.
I've saved your lives, and if you're ungrateful toward that, I will rain down more lightning on you." But
This
not
is
really,
my
because I only
boast.
get one spell.
I think that was your big spell, wasn't it? You used it for blowing up this poor dude.
I needed to get out of the room, otherwise they were gonna jump me. They were clearly angry. I was in
Clearly
danger.
disoriented.
So as you go out into the halls, the blue light's back, at least you can see that, and there's this odd mechanical shuffling sound, like a bunch of wires or pieces of metal rubbing on themselves. And out of the darkness comes this, you'd call it a corpse if there weren't so much metal in it. You're going to want to roll initiative. Or you can just try to run away from it.
Yeah, but running away would mean going back from when the other guys are, so no way. So 2 plus 8, so 10.
All right, so I got a 12. And we're going to pause there. So meanwhile, back in the library, this robed, glowing elf lady says, "I am sure you have many questions, and I will answer all of them as best as I can. My name is Elandera, and I am the priestess of the Unbroken Circle.
Nice to meet you, I think.
You as well. I'm sure you have questions.
What is the blue stuff?
The blue stuff is lucidity." She's like, "I don't know where to begin on this, so I can do it from the beginning if you'd like."
Yes, what the fuck is happening here?
The world ended 300 years ago, more or less. The exact dates aren't important. Since then, I've been trying to get the gods to come back to our world.
Why do you want them back if they left us?
They didn't leave us, dear child. They never left us. Well, they never wanted to leave us. There was once a great empire that ruled over this entire continent, which I'm sure that word doesn't even mean to you, but there you have it. And they ruled because of a substance called mage stone, a fuel for magic. They could build these great machines with it. The mage stone started to run out. Parts of their empire started to fracture off. And of course, when people are desperate, they do stupid things. And there was a man, the gnome, who thought he could tap into the raw stuff between the realms, into the raw pieces of the multiverse, and harness that energy and bring it into our world. This did not work. Do you know of the fall of civilization? Do you know what happened? The hungry things that came from between the stars?
Just stories of monsters coming out and wiping out all life.
Then you get the most of it. This gnome had great, it was a good idea in theory to try to get this energy source, but it didn't work. And instead, we were flooded by these horrors. And in the last semi-heroic act, he thought maybe he would be able to steal the horrors in this world and save the other realms. That's what people believe. They believe that he sacrificed himself and took all the energy he gathered and used it to sever the connection between us and the celestial heavens and the underworld and the infernal places and the Feywild, everything cut off entirely. That's what we were taught back when I was a child. But I don't believe that. I believe the gods punished us for our hubris. We're trying to harness this energy. We're trying to grasp things that we were never meant to grasp. And I think they left us here to suffer with our consequences. But now, I finally perfected the technology. I can't gather the energy. I don't want to gather the energy. But what I can do is use what I've gathered here to send a signal up, telling the gods that we are still here, that we've survived and we're ready for them to return. See, the problem was the gnome didn't think things entirely through. He was in a rush. He was in a hurry. He was pressured. I've had 300 years now to think and perfect this, hence the lucidity. And she walks over to Kepin, and she puts her hand on her shoulder, and she says, people like Kepin have felt a call to come here, to volunteer, to enter a dreaming, to provide their mental energy. And this, I know, I can use to keep the horrors at bay. When I send up another signal, when I open the portal between our world and the world of the gods again, the horrors can't come back through, because this raw stuff of thought will keep them away. It's too pure, and they hate it. I know I can do this, and the time is near at hand. She's looking very pleased with herself when she says this.
I don't know.
I
Where
don't
I
trust
come
this
from,
girl.
reviving ancient gods is never a good thing.
This woman sounds insane to me.
Right.
Are they willing donators?
And then Kevin steps forward, and you see the marks on her head are marks where tubes would go. And she says, yes, this world is horrible. It's nothing but suffering. Nothing but someone controlling you and telling you what to do. In the dreams, at least, you can have what you want. You can be at peace. You don't have to worry about eating or being eaten by something, or someone just coming and killing you just because. You're free in the dreams. And more than that, you're helping. You're going to set things right finally. After 300 years, this is our chance. But
This sounds no different than the outside.
that's what the Marsh monger wants. He wants you to not have this. He wants us to not achieve this goal. Londeril and the Marshmonger have history, and that's why he keeps forming new villages every so often. What happens is he hunts her down to stop this from happening. He doesn't want the gods to return. He doesn't want things set to right, because then he'll lose his power. So he raises people who are completely loyal to him, and when he finds her, he picks up roots and crushes whatever he can find, destroys the machinery, and tries to kill her, but he hasn't been successful on that yet. But this isn't the first village he's had. This is like the fourth or fifth village he's had. Each one, he follows her path, finds out where she is, raises an army to destroy her, and then, if she's not dead, he sets off again trying to find her, to create another loyal force over and over and over again.
Can I insight check this lady now?
Oh yeah.
16 plus 5.
So 21 for you?
Yes.
So she's fully convinced that she is correct. But she's also very crazy from isolation and from being so driven after this one thing. She believes that this is the case.
If only I had a cleric on the side of me who could also decide this lady's crazy.
You don't need me to know she's crazy.
Have we noticed yet that Chuckles is in here?
Yeah, probably at this point.
The hell is Merrick?
Wait, you should say Chuckles.
Yes.
So, you say this out loud? Like, where the hell is Merrick?
Yeah.
So, the woman pauses, her eyes fade out for a second. They fade back in, and she goes, he's in room 112. Where he was, he just left. And the drone is on its way to stop him from whatever he's doing.
What's the drone?
It's a security measure in case someone gets in here with bad intentions.
Okay, well, I mean, I don't necessarily know that he has bad intentions so much as potentially dumb intentions.
And her eyes fade out and fade back in, and she said, he's awoken about a dozen dreamers and killed one of them. And you're saying you're party to this man?
The death is completely incidental, I swear.
He's
I
not-
didn't say he was smart man. I said he was good man.
Those tree things that came here, that are around gathering, you know what those are, correct?
They must be from the Marshmonger, trying to
Yes.
stop us.
And they know I'm here now. Because the shields came down for that stuff. And because of our test flare that went up. We don't have a lot of time. Because he's on his way right now. The village stirs and is walking towards us. And so very soon you're going to have a very real an immediate choice to make. You can either help me reestablish our connection with the gods and set things to right and restore order to this place, or go with him and return to status quo and suffering endlessly, needlessly, and doom this world to stay on this path of nothingness. And with that, we're going to go back to Merrick. Merrick, this big scary robot thing's coming at you, and you have the better initiative. What do you do?
Well, robots are made of metal.
Hold on, let me check my notes. Yep, yeah.
Shit, I was gonna rust him with water.
Well, create water is an actual spell. Yeah, it's not a.
Yeah, I thought
it
was a
should be.
It should be a cantrip because it's so fucking stupid. Can I use my perception to see if I can find any weaknesses on the robot?
Sure. Yeah. Go for it.
So 11 plus 5, so 16.
Once you get him down half hit points, a big thing will open up in his chest and it'll blink red. You're gonna throw your boomerang at that. Now, this thing, it's not well built. It's been around for a long time, not in use, because nothing has ever gotten past your defenses. So it's just kind of a garbage robot. So it'll probably be fairly easy to dispatch.
But no weak points.
I mean,
well, you said it was like a corpse, like with cybernetic enhancements.
It's a corpse that's like held together with wires and shit, and some of this blue stuff.
All right, then I will, from a distance, use my crossbow and aim it.
That makes sense. This is a zombie. Go for it. So roll your attack dice. D20 plus whatever.
Plus 4. So 7 altogether.
Cool. It has an arm class of 8. You missed. Unfortunately, you missed. It lumbers towards you. It extends a hand and like a mega red, like one of those long wire things it has. That's like one of those. It shoots out at you and tries to grab you around the leg. Does a 15 hit your AC?
No, my AC is a 17.
So it's very uncoordinated. Like it seems like it barely extends like past its arm. It's just not doing too well. It's flailing. It's not sure what to do. It's trying to do what it's programmed to do, but it's just not equipped to do it. Now we're back to your turn.
Oh, I got one. So I'm looking through my inventory. Does this thing have like eyes that it sees through?
Oh yeah.
So in my inventory, I have a bottle of blue ink.
Why can't you just shoot it?
I don't want to.
Okay. You have a bottle of blue ink in your inventory.
All his parlor tricks.
Yeah, I'm going to throw it in his eyes to blind him.
Okay, make an attack roll with dexterity.
So 2 plus...
I don't think you're proficient in blue ink, so...
So 15 altogether.
Well, you do it. You throw your ink, it hits it in its optical areas, and it's blinded now. Just then the doors opened, and the people stumble into the hallway. It hears the noise, turn towards it, and starts attacking. It's a bloodbath.
Wait, it attacks all the people?
Yeah. It's going to
oh
the
my
closest
god.
hallways.
Great job saving there.
I didn't do it, the robot did. You can't trust robots. Well, while he's distracted killing them, I'll go further down the hall and see if I can find more people to save.
Yeah, I mean, it's room after room after room of these. There's hundreds of people here.
People to save for the robot to kill.
Well, I'll tell him this time, stay in the room so the robot doesn't get you.
It's nice of you.
We're finding his method.
You just keep smashing all these tubes?
Mm-hmm.
All these rooms? Okay. You see the light fade out of this woman's eyes. We're back with Cory and
Yeah.
And she says, he's waking everybody up. Come with me. And she heads down the hall. What do you guys do?
Well, I feel vaguely responsible for him, so I guess I'm going.
I want to go with the intention to help Merrick.
Yes.
Because I know he's in trouble.
All right. So
especially with her ominous words of the drone.
Hmm.
So you flee down this long hallway, and you see finally now room upon room of basically like medical bays with all these sleeping people being not drained of their lucidity, but providing lucidity via the pipes.
Yeah.
And you're heading towards the sound of screaming. You look into one of the viewing windows,
Mm-hmm.
and you see Merrick standing over these sleeping people with, what do you have, like a weapon, like an axe or something? You're smashing into these, or hammer. What do you have for a weapon?
I just have my tiny little knife.
You must have a melee weapon of some kind. Don't
I have
you?
my crossbow, but
Let's say you're kicking it or something, because these are glass tubes. So you see him just like full Luddite smashing these tubes, and the lights are going out in the rooms, and people are waking up screaming. And now he's out in the hallway looking to go to the next room. So Merrick, you burst out into the hallway, and you see this glowing-eyed, blue-eyed woman, 7-foot tall elf thing, in these religious vestments, with your friends and the bald lady you saw from the parapet earlier. So, talk amongst yourselves.
Merrick, what the hell is happening?
I'm rescuing these people. These sick bastards are harvesting some blue liquid from them. They're in great danger.
So at this point, Kepler steps forward and explains to you, basically, like, that no, they volunteered for this. This is a refuge for them to escape the horrors of the world. And now you've done the cruelest thing possible by waking them up into essentially what's going to become a war zone in a second. And the lady steps forward and says, you might have done damage that will never be repaired. We might not be able to open the gateway to the gods now.
Then you're welcome.
The gods were benevolent. They were good. They were the ones that provided for us and protected us. We had a chance to bring them back to the world.
How do we know that they're going to respond that way when we bring them back? It's been hundreds of years.
To the god, that's a blink of an eye. They're eternal.
How do we know they were good in the first place? If they are this strong, how are they gone?
The realms were severed. All the energy that was captured from the realms was used to sever the bonds. They're not all powerful. Gods are extremely powerful. They're not all powerful.
You seem to be moving the goalposts quite a lot.
I love it.
I don't know what the goalpost is, but
you're moving it, and that's the important part. The gods aren't all powerful, but they are powerful enough to make a difference in this world and to help us and to restore things to right, put order back into the world. You are honestly telling me that you prefer to live in this world under the sway of the Marsh monger, and you don't want to try to set things to right, and you're going to stand in my way.
Your gods are just another marshmonger.
You don't know that. You weren't alive. I've been here on this planet for 800 years. I knew life then. You are a puppy. You are nothing. You're a flea. And you dare to tell me what is right from wrong.
Yep.
I'm going to crush you.
How is you absorbing these people's lucidity different than the marshmonger absorbing them into his tree?
Because they have a choice to do this. And there's no false pretenses here. I've been completely honest with them. The monger is lying. You think they're just absorbed to do what? To get some heaven state?
the marshmonger says the same thing to us, that he is all truthful.
She said, then get out and go talk to him. You've chosen your side.
Judging by the time, he should be here shortly.
Shame you won't be alive to see it.
I haven't chosen a side. This part is very new, and I'm trying to understand the contours of the situation that I just learned like 10 minutes ago.
Sounds like you're being a big wimp to me, Jenna.
Yeah, you wimp.
She's being.
She kind of rises up to her full height, and her feet are no longer touching the ground. And the blue in the tubes glows painfully bright. She says, it appears to me you've made your choice. And just then, you feel the ground beneath your feet start to shake. This huge, rhythmic boom, boom, like a far-off drum. She said, well, unfortunately, you don't have the luxury of time, because he's here. Choose with whom you stand. And that's where we'll end it for tonight.
And so it begins. The end. Outside, the marshmonger marches forward. His loyal citizens and throng of tree people swarm around him, preparing to give their lives assaulting a strange building and whatever lies inside. Why? For no other reason than the marshmonger commanded it. And his leadership has brought them this far, hasn't it? Inside, the cleric Elandril on the cusp of realizing her life's work, begs 3 skeptics to give her a chance, to hold out hope, to help her fight not just for her, but for the world, for the multiverse. Dozens upon dozens of former dreamers mill about the facility, suddenly awake for the first time in years as their world crashes around them. Was it worth it? Will it be worth it? And in the middle, 3 strangers stand divided together. A choice must be made, even if there are no good options. So, what'll it be? If you want to support the Pot of Blunders, please consider heading to our Patreon page, patreon.com/potofblunders, all one word. We've got membership levels ranging from $1 to $10 a month, which will get you access to things like our Discord, exclusive episodes of Jumping the Street Sharks, as well as a variety of other perks. You can also support the show and help us bring more attention to amazing indie authors by leaving a review on Apple Podcasts. We really appreciate any help you can give. We love hearing from you. You can always find us on Twitter at Pot of Blunders, and you can also reach us via email at potofblunders@gmail.com. Want more reviews, interviews, actual plays? Head to potofblunders.com and learn about even more amazing indie games. Thanks for listening. For the Pot of Blunders, I'm Nate Magnuski, and as always, may all your Ds be 12s.